Hey. So hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as promised, I'm here to do the final installment of my pregnancy journey. Can you believe it? I was still in disbelief that 9 months has gone by that quickly. Like, I still remember the very first moments of me finding out, and to believe that it's already August. I am in the last month of my pregnancy, literally just counting down until the day that we get to meet our little guy. And so it's amazing that much time has passed by, especially because we're still in the pandemic, and that hasn't changed, although we have had peaks and valleys with the pandemic. But I definitely felt like last year was a lot slower and this year was a lot faster. Maybe because I have so much to look forward to and planning and all that stuff. Maybe that's why, but I definitely feel like time sped up. Like, I'm just like, where did time go? Can I get it back? I need more time, kind of thing. Let me fix my hair, y'all. My hair is looking a little crazy over here. Okay. All right. So yeah, third trimester, y'all. Third trimester. So I officially began third trimester at the beginning of June. And at the very beginning of June, I actually had my baby shower, which I will post some pictures here so that you can see my baby shower. Our baby shower was more than what I could have ever asked for. Especially with the circumstances of everything with COVID and wanting to be safe, like teetering in the line of wanting to be safe but wanting to see people, because I wanted the people interaction, but then not having everyone there because of it was a lot, obviously, in a pandemic. But nonetheless, it turned out much better than I thought. I was really happy. I was really thankful. My family and my friends showed up. They showed out. Through this experience, it really made me realize that our village, really cares about us, and that our village is truly there for us. And that means the world, honestly. So I started off third trimester having our baby shower at 28 weeks. And at the time I was like, I like my belly. I think it looks good. I don't think it should grow any bigger, right? Like, I like the size that it is. And I was like, to think it's gonna have to get any bigger than this is gonna be a little sad. So it was like a cute, like, oh yeah, a little bump, cute, perfect size belly. But I knew that, I had plenty of time to go left. And so that was not gonna last forever. And so after the baby shower, just some things that I was experiencing in June. I was still going to the gym, like as I mentioned in the previous video about in my second trimester. I was still going to the gym. I was still doing my step classes twice a week because I was eating like crazy. And I was like, I'm not eating like crazy, but I had my moments where I was eating a lot, and I was like, I need to balance this out, because I need to balance this weight out. Because I had originally a goal of gaining 25 pounds during pregnancy. Well, as of today, which is August 4th, I am up 30 pounds. So I gave myself an extra 5 pounds, because once I got to 25 pounds plus, I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. I got too many weeks left. So then I was like, let me give myself an extra 5 pounds. And so at this point, I'm just like, I'm not doing anything excessive, but I'm not, going crazy over trying to make sure I stay within 30 pounds at this point, because I don't think I'm going to go significantly more than that. So yeah, June after the baby shower is when I started doing everything for the room. So I was working on a lot. Like, I was like, in my mind, June was really the month I was just like, I know that I'm pregnant because I'm pregnant, but I'm not pregnant, in the sense that I can still do things. So I was really pushing the limits for my husband for his level of comfortability. I painted the entire nursery. So It's a room. The room isn't much bigger than this current room that I'm in, but obviously I had to like stand up on like a step stool to kind of reach the corners of the room to paint the ceilings and the walls and make sure everything else was looking really, really nice. So I pushed the limits by that, and I painted the room in like 3 days. So, and then painted the closet because the closet was a disgusting blue. Got all that done. So I was really active in June. I was still continuing to work out, still continuing the walks in my neighborhood because I was still working from home, which was really nice. This is where things changed with my acid reflux and my heartburn. So I started to feel acid reflux more. It was nowhere near what I had felt in first trimester, but it was still there. It was a very mild version of it. I would take that acid reflux any day in comparison to what I experienced first trimester, because first trimester was the worst. Every once in a while I was getting heartburn, but it was not bad as first trimester. And I think, like the doctor mentioned to me months ago in first trimester, was that things do get better in second trimester, but don't assume that the acid reflux and the heartburn wouldn't return in third trimester, because that is usually when the baby is bigger, and because he's bigger, there's less room in your abdomen. Like, so everything, all your organs could kind of shift around, and there's less space for your stomach, kind of thing. And so I knew going in, I was like, okay, I know that I'm not going to be scotch-free with no acid reflux and heartburn. But like I said, when I say it's better, it has been much better in June. In June and July. I would say this week in particular, the acid reflux and heartburn has gotten worse for me. Again, nowhere near as bad as first trimester, but the heartburn this time is definitely worse. I would say if the first trimester felt like a 10 for me, because that was the worst I've ever had in my life, then currently it feels like a 7. As I'm talking to you, as I'm recording this right now, I'm currently experiencing heartburn right now. So the heartburn feels like a 7, I would say. So it's not a 10 like it was first trimester, but it's definitely like a 7. And it's food, and I mean, to me, it's like if I eat like fruits and veggies, it doesn't give me a problem. So I'm like, I'm not sure exactly. No, I can't say if I eat fruits and veggies. I ate a piece of fruit. I bought a plum cot, so it's a cross between a plum and an apricot, and that gave me heartburn. So I'm just like, at this point, it's not what I'm eating, it's just the baby. It literally is the baby, and that's just what it is. So yeah, still having the sweats like I mentioned before, so crazy. But I don't have any more to add to this video. Like I said, I feel the heartburn right now. It's not fun. So in third trimester, I feel like I can never trust a burp, because when I think it's just a burp, something else comes up. It feels like there's food or fluid coming back up from acid reflux. It's like, never trust a burp. Like, I've been seeing like some pregnant, like in the mom group that I'm in, some women were like never trust a fart. Well, I have not had those issues with diarrhea to not trust a fart, but the acid reflux, never trust a burp. Because you just don't know, is it really a burp or is it really acid reflux? June was also the month, I don't know what happened this month, y'all. I don't get what happened, but this was the month that I actually had to start seeing a chiropractor. So I was seeing a chiropractor almost every week, I want to say, because I was experiencing so much hip pain. Like, it was just so unbearable. It almost felt like, so the pain would shift in my hip. Sometimes it would be mostly on my left side of my hip, sometimes my right, but mostly on the left. If my hip did not feel my tailbone hurting. If not my tailbone hurting, then my mid back of my right side was hurting. And I'm like, all the aches and pains came with third trimester. I was like, yo, this is really real and really sucky. So all the aches and pains I started to experience. So I was seeing the chiropractor, and every time he would give me an adjustment, he was like, yeah, this is just what comes with pregnancy. There's no way to alleviate it besides getting an adjustment as you go throughout your pregnancy to help support you. But it's because of the hormone, relaxing your body, that kind of loosens things up a bit. You're much more flexible, and things are much more loose, and they can cause a lot of pain. And obviously, as baby's growing, more pressure on your pelvis to carry this baby. And I was like, oh, Lord, the struggle's real. So I still experience, even it's been 2 months from June, from that point where it started, I do still experience the hip pain. It's been more manageable recently, don't know why, but I'm happy that it's been, because it sucked. And then I've also learned that using like a warm compress, like a heating pad, or I have this little, almost looks like a bean bag, but it's filled with rice, and you can just pop it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, let it heat up, and it becomes like a warm compress or a heating pad. But I did that when the pain just got so bad and it became so unbearable, and nothing else seemed to work. The heating pad is what saved the day. So fast forward to July. Remember when I mentioned in my last video that I wasn't sleeping very well, things were getting more uncomfortable. Well, the sleep that I thought that was unwell in April only got much worse in July. Like, no lie, y'all, I think it's because I'm getting towards the end. Like, sleep has just been like, it's so bad that sometimes I'm just like, I just want to scream. Because I'm just like, I want to try my best to enjoy sleep as much as possible when I'm going to get less of it. But it's like, I'm getting less sleep now prior to the baby getting here. When will I ever catch up on sleep? That is what I'm thinking. And so July was just caked on, added on, just quality of sleep. I know my sleep quality is getting bad when my husband is waking up, when he's the one waking me up. When he wakes up and is like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, did I wake you? That's how I know my sleep quality has gotten that bad, because before he was able to sleep through it, but it's to the point now where I'm literally rolling over, tossing and turning, because nothing feels comfortable. I'm too hot, too much pressure is on my one side of my hip than the other. It's just too much, and I'm just like, I want to go crazy. I'm upset because I'm just like, I'm just so tired. I just want to go to bed, and it's just not working. Ooh, y'all, pregnancy. Who knew it takes so much out of you to make a human? But it's worth making this little human. But the human takes a lot of energy out of me. July is also when I started to get extremely warm. It's like someone turned the temperature, my body temperature, up like a degree or two, because I became extremely hot. Like, I would literally, even though I was working from home mostly, I was still, popping back into my office every once in a while. And I remember just sitting in the chair in air conditioning, sweating. Like, my armpits were sweaty, my crotch was sweaty, and I was like, my butt is sweaty, and I was like, what is this? I don't understand. This is new. This is definitely new. I just could not figure out why. I think it's just the hormones. But so because of that, I literally have to sleep with little to nothing on in the evening, and rotate between having the fan on some nights, having it not on, just so I don't get this scratchy feeling in my throat, to just lowering the AC at night, because I just became so uncomfortable. Like, I have cotton sheets, which is nice to help the cooling effect when you're in the bed, but I had to change my comforter to something really, really thin, like a really thin comforter. It's not candy. It's probably more like a blanket than a comforter, and that's what I sleep with at night. And I don't even use the blanket sometimes. I just use a sheet, just because I'm just like, I just need a little bit of cover. And usually I would just put it on my lower half of my body and expose the rest of myself to the air, the vent, and the air, the fan running, just so I can keep myself cool. Because another thing I kept adding to my sleep quality diminishing is because when I would get hot, as my body temperature is increasing, I get excessively hot, I wake up. I cannot sleep in the heat for nothing. Like, if it's hot and I'm asleep, it's because I have literally probably reached my breaking point where I'm just so tired that my body is just like, we have to go to bed. Like, this is dire, we need to go to bed, because I cannot sleep when it's warm. Like, I have to be cool in order to get some sleep. Because I'm having the sweats, I have a lot more chafing now because I'm such a sweaty person. It's so annoying because I already thought I was a sweaty person, and then pregnancy made me even more of a sweaty person. So I'm just like, I don't like to be around my own self because I'm sweaty all the time. It's not comfortable, and it's not appealing too when you sweat through your clothes. Like, I literally remember, like, I forgot what dress I had on, but I remember literally sitting in the car, and you know, the dress had creased into my lap, and by the time I got out of the car, there was literally sweat stains across where the dress was folded into my lap. And I was like, this is crazy. The ride was not even like more than 20 minutes in the car, and I was already sweating enough to cause these lines in my dress. And on top of that, what I started feeling, and I'm not sure if this, when I asked my OB, he just said it's, you know, the baby descending, but I started getting a cramp-like feeling that started at like mid-June, and it's like under my belly, like directly under my belly. I would say describe it like feeling like a menstrual cramp. Like, every time I go to the doctors, I'm like, is this normal? Like, is this a false contraction, like a Braxton Hicks, or what is it? They keep saying, no, this is not a Braxton Hicks, because if it's a contraction, you'd feel the contraction, you'd feel the tightening of your stomach, and you'd feel it like your entire stomach would be hard, and you'd feel the contraction more higher on your belly. And I was like, okay. But then I've been having, and ever since then, I've been having for weeks having the cramping feeling, and it's not constant, but there are moments where it comes, and then I'm just like, whoa, okay, breathe through it, okay, and then it goes away. But it definitely feels like a menstrual cramp. That's the best way I could describe it. The feeling that I feel when it happens. And then another thing that started happening is that I guess it's just, comes with, as a baby is growing, needing more space, but my rib cage started hurting like randomly. Like, I would get these aches and pains on my side, and it feels like something is separating my rib cage. No lie. It is not a good feeling at all. It's really uncomfortable, and there's no way to alleviate it. Honestly, I just have to kind of just wait and see how it plays out, and hoping that it goes away, because there's literally nothing I can do to alleviate it. Like, when I tell you, the discomfort has been real. Like, it has been increasingly more uncomfortable the bigger I've gotten and the more I've progressed in my pregnancy. Another thing that I had to start doing in the third trimester that didn't do in my second trimester is when I was doing my lab results in the second trimester. Eventually, they told me one of my appointments in the third trimester that my iron, my hemoglobin actually was a little bit lower than what they would like, or lower than the normal. Instead of being like 12.5, I think is the minimum, I think I was in the 11 range. No, 11 or 10 range. Maybe the 10 range. I can't remember exactly. But they definitely, so in addition to taking my prenatal daily, and my probiotic daily, I've also had to add in a iron pill. And now that I'm really at the end, I think that as the baby's getting lower and lower in my pelvis, just feeling a lot more pelvic pressure. Like, literally walking is uncomfortable because it just literally feels like something is literally sitting on top of my bladder. Like, that's the baby. And so for the last few weeks, I want to say since the 34-week mark, I have been feeling like I have to pee all the time. And when I go use the restroom, it is literally like a few drops of pee. Not, a few more than that, but it's not much, much urine at all. And I'm like, it's just sometimes I get this overwhelming sensation like I have to pee, and when I go, it's not really much in there. And I think, again, it's just as the baby's getting lower and lower and descending lower in my pelvis, it's just the baby is just applying more pressure on my bladder, which causes me to use the restroom more often. That has been my life. Like I said, at this point, we have gotten everything completed as far as his room. His room is completely ready. We have our bags ready and prepared. But yeah, that is just what my life has been. It has been an incredible experience. It is, I look forward to feeling his kicks every day, even though sometimes his kicks hurt me and that he feels like he's kicking me in the crotch sometimes, and I gotta like put my hand underneath my belly and kind of like shift him, like, come on baby, let's move. It's been worth I wouldn't change any moment of the journey except for the acid reflux and heartburn. That I would change for sure. Everything else I'd keep it the same because everything else has brought me to this point. So I am really grateful to be here, to have experienced this, to have been, you know, keeping it afloat through the midst of a pandemic and through the midst of isolation and all that comes with it. I'm really happy to have come, you know, approaching the end and just, you know, short period away from actually holding our son, which is crazy. Like, I'm going to be someone's mother. Like, I am someone's mother already. I have not cared for him outside of my womb, like outside my body, but I have been caring for him because I've had to take care of myself so I can take care of him, kind of thing. So it's crazy. It's so crazy to think about. Yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, y'all. I am really grateful to be here. Thank you for joining me as a part of this journey and watching it all unfold. I'm really excited to finally meet this little guy and finally give him a name, because my husband and I are still on the fence between a couple of names to figure out his name, and we're just, you know, gonna believe that when we see his little face that we'll figure out a name for him at that moment. I'm gonna do a belly shot, and before I go, as you can see, this is my belly at 37 weeks. Rounded belly. So y'all, thank you so much for watching my 3rd trimester video. As always, if you have any questions, make sure you leave those questions in the comment section below. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to turn on the notifications so that you always know when my next video is live. Also, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, y'all. Tell me if you like it. I want to know, make sure that you guys are actually enjoying the content. So liking this video lets me know that you like it, and it lets me know to keep on making more content like this. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.